This video is about the 5 Korean names that when translated into English have questionable meanings or may be interpreted in a indecent manner. This is not meant to offend anybody. It's just to show that if you have these names, you may want to consider getting an English name. The first one is very common. It's guk or gook, right? In English, it is a derogatory term, for Oriental people. So it originated in Korean War, Vietnam War, and was propagated then. But gook is very common. I mean, even the name of Korea, 한국, has the word gook in it. But we will see later on certain examples of how this can not be so good in a Western English-speaking country. Dong. It is a slang word for the male genitalia. The word dong is present even in all of our addresses. It's also common as a name, but in an English-speaking country it can be interpreted this way. Bum. Bum is a very strong-sounding good name in Korea, but in the US it means the rear, or literally a homeless person, a bum. 석. I mean, this doesn't require too much explanation. It's a sort of a sexual word, right? And if you do spell it, I would suggest that you spell it with S-E-O-K instead of S-U-C-K, because that literally means to, perform a sexual act, or is interpreted that way. Ho is a derogatory term for a woman who is very promiscuous, or quite literally a prostitute. So we will see some examples of how very good Korean names can be misinterpreted. 강동호, 강방호, 구범호. These names, the middle one, 강방호, is it has a double entendre in that gangbang, gangbang, is a pornographic theme, and is, gangbang ho in the entirety of its meaning is almost poetic in just how perfectly it can be misinterpreted. And with the case of the last one, 구범호, instead of, spelling it B-E-O-M, if you spell it B-U-M. Doesn't really require an explanation. So we have 손호국, Sonhoguk. It's very suggestive. Wangpomguk. Wang is also, it could be, taken as, if you say Wang, that's also a colloquial name for the male genitalia. So please be aware of that. 유동석, 유동석. 유미석, 유미석. I don't really need to go into detail about this. You can piece it together for yourselves, but it is very apparent how, these names can be misunderstood in a Western English-speaking country. Right. A name is a very crucial portion of your social life and status almost. And it's the thing that people will call you by, so. One must always consider how the name will be translated. 주우범, 주우범, 조국범. These are all good names in Korea. But if you have such names, we may suggest alternatives like Michael, James, Clyde, if you're feeling a little bit old-timey Southern. Here are some examples of names using dong. As you see, you have various combinations of bum and dong and gook. Duck also it's not so offensive, but I once had a senior whose name was Young Duck. So that was
Top 5 Korean name characters not decent when romanized. Okay. First is gook. Alright, so yeah, in English, gook is a bit of a derogatory term, especially towards the Asian community. You don't want to say this, especially around someone Asian. It'd be considered a bit racist. So I could see why it's not a good one to use. The next one is dong. So in English, dong, especially when spelled like D-O-N-G, is a bit of a euphemism for for a male body part. It's a bit of a sexual term, so definitely don't want to be named dong or dong in English. You'd get a couple of laughs. You'd probably get made fun of. Next, bum. Again, bum is a body part in English. It's the rear end, the backside. Again, you'd probably get made fun of if your name was bum. Suck. Alright, suck. Yeah. So suck is, it's got a lot of meanings in English. So suck can just mean you're bad at something even. So you wouldn't want to be named bad. Suck is also a bit explicit when used sexually. It's definitely, it's not something you want to be named, especially if your name was, if you had dong, suck, and bum in your name. It's not a ho. Alright, so ho is also, I mean, hoe can be a gardening tool. There is hoes that are for gardening and landscape, but another word for hoe is prostitute. Again, another explicit word that's commonly used in English. A bit more slangy. And these are some examples of Korean names. So you have Gang Dong-ho. So Gang it's not bad. The family name's okay, but Dong-ho is a bit funny. Maybe interpreted as a male prostitute. Next, Gangbang. Alright, this one's a bit more funny because the way it's written in English is gangbang. Gangbang is a sexual term for many people coming together to commit an act. And with hoes, it just makes it a bit more funny. Goobumho. Alright, so goo is actually, can be a bit strange as well because goo is not, it's not a really pleasing word in English. It's usually some sort of liquid or gloop or slime. And again, bum, you don't want goo or slime coming out of your bum. It's not funny. Or it is funny, but I mean, it's not a good name to have in English. Okay, next. Sonhoguk. Alright, so Son will get translated, or I guess read as son. I mean, obviously there's the soccer player's son, who's really popular nowadays. And then Hoguk, again, Ho can be interpreted as a prostitute. And then Gook. Gook's a good word, especially in Korean. I like it, but in English it doesn't translate well at all. Wangbam Gook. Wang. Wang. So Wang in Korean is fine, but when you say it in English, it would change to Wang, and Wang is also another term for a male body part. It's a bit explicit. It's more used with children though, like Wang and Dong, but it'll still come across that way. And again, bum, gook, the same thing as I said before. Yu Dong-suk. Alright, so the family name Yu, especially if it comes with some of the following words, can make a name sound really funny. So if you say this to someone in English, Yu Dong-suk, it makes it sound like you're telling someone that they do a weird, or not a weird, but a sexual act in just a weird order. It's a bit funny. Shin Dong-suk. Alright. So Shin's a good name. I mean, shin in English is the front part of your leg. It's called your shin. So that won't really translate too bad. But again, Dong-suk or Dong-suk will come across kind of funny to English speakers. Yumi-san. Alright, so this is probably one of the worst names, I would say. Especially if the person whose name is this doesn't have a good grasp of English. It might sound like a broken sentence to ask someone to do something bad. Telling someone to suck me. Which is still kind of funny. Yumi suck. Yeah, especially if you tell someone your name and if you're Korean and you tell someone your name in English, usually they don't know how to Romanize it, so they might spell it like this, like you, Y-O-U, me, M-E, and then suck, S-U-C-K. Again, it depends on the person. They could spell it a number of ways. Still, it's a fun. Jokukbum. Juubum. Juubum. Again, I see oo translated like woo a lot. And I don't know why. But again, bum is kind of funny. Ju, I don't think is that bad. Choguk-bum. Okay. Now I can say it. Yeah, that makes sense. So Ju can sound like Jew, which is refers to a people of a certain religion. The Jewish people, of course. And then Joguk-bum. Joe's fine. I don't think there's anything bad with Joe, but again, gook and bum can come across quite funny. Dong-bum. Again, dong and bum together sounds funny to an English speaker. Okay, here we go. Gook one dong. Gook, again, is funny. One or one is fine. I think you can keep one. There's not really a word in English that sounds similar to one or one. I mean, besides the words one and one, but otherwise, I think it sounds good. I like the name one. Kimbong or Kimbom-dong. Kim. So Kim is translated a lot of different ways in English that I've seen. So Kim can be with a K. Sometimes it's even with a G. But I don't think it comes across that bad. Again, bum and dong together sounds funny. Park. Okay, pak. So in English, pak will always be translated differently. I've never seen it the same way. Sometimes it's with a B, sometimes with a P. I think the most common is with a P. So park. And then again, duck. Yeah, so duck might be a bit funny because duck in English sounds like the animal. The animal, quack quack, that duck. So if your name is Duck, it might come across a bit funny. There's also a character from a movie who has a name Duck. I think it's 17 Candles is the movie. And then again, dong. Dong is funny in English.